If there is one thing that has not changed about the diet industry, then it's definitely the fact that there's always something new to choose from. While this can keep things interesting, it also causes a large amount of confusion and it's almost overwhelming to the common man who's just trying to shed a few pounds. So in today's video, I'm going to be covering the diets that we have seen over the last 50 years or so and helping you realize why you will never be able to find the perfect diet that works for you. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Mihika Sansare. I am an NCSF certified personal trainer and sports nutrition specialist. I do run coaching services at my company, Team Meraki. If you are interested in getting coached by a professional, then please go ahead and check out our website. I'm going to leave it here. It's www.teammeraki.com. Also go through our client case studies because we do not believe in before-after pictures only. We speak about the client's journey from start to end with us, so you have all the information you need to make an informed decision before you get on board with us. Also, one thing that I've noticed lately is out of all of you who are watching my videos, a lot of you aren't subscribed yet, so please hit the subscribe button down below and join the family. If you enjoy this video, please be sure to give me a big thumbs up and also hit the bell button so you never miss another video from me again. Alright, so now that we have all of this out of the way, let's get into the video. Alright, so as I said, in this video, we're going to go over some of the craziest diet trends in history and uncover the madness behind the weight loss industry. The first kind of diet that I want to speak about is called the Grapefruit Diet, and this originated in 1970. So the claim here was that eating a grapefruit with every meal would help you lose weight fast. And the reasoning for this was that it was presumed that grapefruit had a certain enzyme that would speed up your fat loss, but in reality there was no such thing, and the people who did lose weight on this diet only did so because they were consuming a smaller amount of calories. So would I recommend this diet to you? Absolutely not. Now fast forward to 1976, there was a very popular cookie diet that came up, which claimed to help you lose 5 to 8 kilograms in a single month. And the reasoning behind this claim was that the cookie itself had some sort of special hunger suppressant to ensure that hunger was kept at bay. Now the truth behind this diet was that these cookies had a certain amount of amino acids or protein included in them, which just increased the satiety of the cookie itself and kept the people full for a longer amount of time. So eventually they ate fewer calories and they lost weight. Would I recommend this diet to you? No, because this diet involves eating a few of those cookies throughout the day along with one meat and vegetable dinner. So it just isn't enough to fulfill the nutritional requirements that your body needs in order to function. In 1977, there was a company called SlimFast that came up with meal replacement shakes and bars, very similar to what we see Herbalife doing right now. So this is something that started way back in the 70s, perhaps even before that, and it claimed to help you lose weight fast. The way that they did this was they asked you to replace any 2 of your meals with SlimFast products, so meal replacement shakes, protein bars or cookies, etc., and they said that this would help you lose weight. Now some people did lose weight on this diet, and that was only because this diet particularly kept you to a very low caloric intake, so around 1200 calories. Now the truth is that this may be too much of an extreme for most people, which is why I as a coach would not recommend you go on this type of diet. Please do not fall prey to meal replacement shakes because these are usually 200 to 250 calories and they cannot replace your 500-600 calorie meals. It's just not enough food, and even if you do lose that weight, you're bound to put that on just as quickly. In 1978, we were introduced to the Scarce Dale diet, which again claimed to help you lose weight quickly. Now this was a high protein diet, so around 45% of your total calories were to come from protein, 35% from carbohydrates, and the rest from fat. Now while this doesn't sound like a bad thing by itself, this diet required you to consume only 1,000 calories a day, which is why obviously people lost weight. Would I recommend you to do this? Absolutely not. 1,000 calories is way too low. too extreme, and even if you do lose weight, you are going to shoot your metabolism in the foot and you're going to gain that weight back very rapidly. In 1980, we were introduced to the cabbage soup diet, and this is exactly what it sounds like. For 7 to 10 days, you consume nothing but cabbage soup. It goes without saying that this diet was extremely low in calories. So this diet claimed to help you lose 10 pounds in 10 days. So that's around 4.5 kilos to 5 kilos in 10 days. And I know that this sounds like an incentive and you're like, hey, let me just do this for 10 days, lose the weight, and then I'm happy, right? But please don't look for shortcuts. This is going to do more harm than good in the long run. And keep in mind that when you eat food, it isn't just for energy, but rather all the macro and micronutrients that it brings to your body to keep it functioning and keep it healthy. So definitely would not recommend the cabbage soup diet. In 1988, we came across what could be one of the most controversial diets that can go down in history, and that is the liquid diet. Now, this was made popular by Oprah Winfrey when she lost 67 pounds in just a few months after being on a liquid diet. So in this particular diet, what you had to do was consume no solid food. So overall, obviously the caloric intake is going to be extremely low, not sustainable for most people. In fact, Oprah herself put on 10 pounds in just a few days after she went off that diet. Now moving forward to the 90s. So in 1991, the low-fat diet became very popular. So this included switching out high-fat foods for lower-fat alternatives. And this was because back then it was believed that dietary fat was bad for you and that it would result in you storing more body fat. So what happened in this particular diet is that people swapped out all their high-fat foods for lower-fat ones, but what they didn't realize is that low-fat alternatives are generally packed with sugar and sometimes pretty high in calories too. This may not necessarily put you in a deficit and could even lead you to gaining weight, and I'll tell you why. Because when anything is loaded with sugar, keep in mind that sugar is an appetite stimulant and it just makes you want to have more and more of the product, and that's where everything goes wrong. In 1996, we came across the blood type diet, in which it was recommended that you eat according to your blood type. And the claim was that this would help promote digestion and help you lose weight faster. Now, experts in the industry very quickly debunked this. Now, in 2003, we were introduced to the Atkins Diet, although a few websites did mention that this came out a little bit earlier. So the Atkins Diet is basically a low-carb, high-fat diet. So basically, throughout this diet, you're going to be eating a very low amount of carbs, and occasionally you do reintroduce carbohydrates into your diet. However, it never exceeds 20 grams of carbs a day, which is still very low. They claimed that if you aren't eating as many carbohydrates and your diet is fat heavy, then you're going to be burning more fat because of the lack of carbohydrates. Fat burning is not necessarily fat loss. So let me just quickly tell you what I mean. Fat lost is actually the difference between fat stored and fat burned, right? So both of these factors need to be taken into consideration. When you are consuming a higher amount of fat in your diet, you are also going to be storing that much more fat. Now, some people will say that, hey, no, but high carbs is also stored as fat. But the truth is, when you talk about stored fat in a single cell, only 3% of the fat that's actually stored in that cell comes from carbohydrates, and about 97 to 98% comes from dietary fat. So let's say you're on a high carb diet and you argue saying that, hey, I'm eating so many carbs, so I'm not going to be burning as much fat, but you're not going to be storing as much fat either. So if you are in a caloric deficit and protein is equated, a high fat or high carb diet literally show no significant changes in weight loss. There have been quite a few studies done on this. If you are interested in reading more about it, leave me a comment below and I will direct you to the resource. Now, in 2006, we came across a diet called as the Master Cleanse. Now, this involved drinking a cocktail of freshly squeezed lemon juice, cayenne pepper, maple syrup, and water for every meal for 10 days. And I mean, obviously, you're going to lose weight fast because you're not eating anything at all. you're literally starving your body. So this particular diet came under scrutiny very, very quickly, and experts in the industry did mention that this is extremely dangerous and nobody should try it. Please do not attempt this kind of a diet at home. Trust me, it's not good for you at all. The claim behind it is going to be it's going to detox your body. Detox is a buzzword. Your body is great at detoxing itself, and the next time you hear somebody say detox, please ask them which toxins particularly are we detoxing, and how does that have anything to do with weight loss? How are these toxins stopping you from losing weight? In 2009 came a diet that I fell prey to. So in 2009, I was 13 years old. I didn't know anything about nutrition at all, and I fell prey to this Special K diet. So I don't know how many of you remember, but they used to have these cereal boxes that said Special K on them. I think they're still available in the supermarket, but back then they had this whole diet framed around it, in which you replace 2 meals of your day, so usually breakfast and lunch, with a small bowl of cereal and fat-free milk, and you have only one other meal in the entire day, and it was supposed to help you lose weight quickly. I think when I did it, I did lose a couple of kilos, but for 2 weeks, that's pretty much how I ate. I ate the cornflakes and one meal. That's it. It was miserable. And honestly, it wasn't really worth it because I gained all that weight back. No surprises there. How it works is, again, it puts you in a deficit. It's too extreme. It's not sustainable. I would not recommend you try it. Very quickly after that, in 2010, we saw the apple cider vinegar diet, in which they asked you to drink 1 shot of ACV every morning, and it was supposed to help you suppress your appetite, increase your metabolism, and lose weight quickly. This has since been debunked. There is no evidence that proves that apple cider vinegar can help you do all these things. It does have benefits, but not from a weight loss perspective. In 2013, we came across gluten-free diets, which still seems to be a buzzword till date. So the gluten-free diet has been misinterpreted as healthier than diets that include gluten in them. And people also feel like gluten-free products are weight loss promoting. They are absolutely not, guys. I have covered this in a different video, whether or not you need to go gluten-free. I'm going to link that video right over here, so go check that out for sure. The way that this diet helped people lose weight was that initially they just sort of started cutting out bread, pasta, roti, anything that had gluten in it. So naturally, their total caloric intake decreased. And it was only later that, food manufacturers started coming out with gluten-free products, which had the same amount of calories as the version with gluten in it. And then this whole weight loss myth was busted completely, because when you're consuming the same amount of calories from bread versus gluten-free bread, it's going to have the same effect on your body. So unless you have celiac disease, unless you are sensitive to gluten, you do not need to go gluten-free at all. Now, obviously, if I were to sit here and talk about every single diet that we have seen over the last century, this video would be never ending. So I'm going to stop it right here. Ever since the gluten-free diet, we have seen different types of eating patterns come up. So whether it's carnivore, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, low carb, carb cycling, keto, and each of them claim to be better than the other. And that's why it leaves the common man so confused. Now, let me make it very clear to you. If you're trying to lose weight, a caloric deficit will help you do that. Whatever you eat to help you achieve that deficit will not really matter. So if you like eating in a certain way, there's nothing wrong with it. As a coach, I would recommend you follow a balanced approach here. So figure out what works for you in terms of food, and also add a little bit of exercise into your life, and just don't overcomplicate it. You don't need to try every diet under the sun to figure out what really works for you. You can eat your ghar ka khana and absolutely crush your goals if you know exactly how to do it. Alright, so that is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching. If you stayed till the end of the video, I really appreciate it. Please take a second to give me a big thumbs up. This helps me understand whether the video helped you or not. If you aren't subscribed yet, I would really love for you to subscribe right now. We're getting closer to 1,000 subscribers, and if you enjoy my content, I would love for you to join the family. Also hit the bell button so you never miss another video from me again. Now, before I end this video, once again, if you're interested in being coached by me or my team, then please drop us an email right here. It's help@teammeraki.com. You can explore our plans, our pricing, our training philosophy, all those wonderful things on our website, which is www.teammeraki.com. Also follow me on Instagram, where I post a lot of information about training and nutrition as well, if that is what interests you. Alright guys, then I will see you in the next video. Bye!